Welcome to Open Vibes with your host, Denmika Eugene. Good evening and welcome. It is a pleasure to be here with Dr. Renee Toussaint. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. She is a chiropractic doctor, but I am going to allow her to introduce herself and everything that she encompasses within her craft. So the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, first and foremost, for having me. My name is Dr. Renee Toussaint Kenshiro because I recently got married, so I had to add that. Thank you. I am a doctor of chiropractic, a mental wellness coach, and a mental health advocate. So what I do is help women who are suffering in silence to find their identity, find their voice, and also show them the connection between the mind and the body, because I do work in my profession. I do work on the physical body. What I noticed that a lot of times that people are disconnected their emotional, mental issues with their body. So I do this through my one-on-one coaching. I coach women, and also my dance and mental health, which is why I'm here. I like to look at dance and mental health as like a bridge to bridge the gap between like therapy sessions, because a lot of my even patients I work with one-on-one, they come in between. They come to me sometimes in between therapy or after therapy. I look at it this way: if you go to a medical doctor, you get your checkups, your physicals, right? But when you're not at the doctor's office, you're supposed to sleep, you're supposed to exercise and eat the right foods, right? So dance and mental health, I could see it as something that could bridge the gap to teach women how to be mindful, teach them self-awareness, and just to take care of their mental health without fully dependent on their therapist or their psychologist or psychotherapist.
Wow. So you're encouraging them to do things, take initiative,
yes.
Pretty much take responsibility for your mental health and your awareness.
Absolutely.
So when did you start dancing?
Oh man, I always remember that like my family will tell you, if you start beating a drum, anything, I'll start dancing. I love to dance. It's always been part of my life. I'm not a professional dancer, but it's just something I always enjoy. I love music. So since I was younger, I remember always dancing. Never thought it would turn into this, but here we are.
I absolutely love it. I was like going through Instagram one day and I came across your post and I was like, I wanted to get up and dance, and it was so energetic and upbeat and lively. So how did you come across the idea of combining the two?
Well, like I just mentioned, while in my first year in practice, I saw there was a disconnect, but I went through my own struggles with depression and anxiety. And how I brought it together, it was kind of funny, because not funny, but part of my story. When I graduated from chiropractic school, I was at the lowest place in my life, honestly. So it's the American dream. You go to school, you get a good degree. I was getting a doctorate degree, and I lost myself in the process. So I decided to take on a work assignment, as I would call it, and I moved to Peru, South America, and I found myself every morning dancing. And I just remember just feeling so good. I was like, oh my God, I need to share this. Like I could be down and I just turn on some music and I dance. And I was like, yeah, that was exactly 6 years ago, actually. Wow. And I've been saying like, oh, I need to do this. But, sometimes it take a while, you ignore, God gave you the vision, but you're like, I don't know about this. So it took me a while.
What actually gave you the push to do it?
So it was last year. I actually did, obviously it took off during the pandemic, but before the pandemic, I actually hosted my first live class.
Oh,
finally, wow. This year I turned 33. Well, last year now. I'll be 34 in a few weeks. I was like, you know what? I want to do something. I know God gave me this vision about talking about mental health. And I know I have this thing, like this dance for mental health. I don't see nobody talk about it. So I just wanted to land, okay, my 33rd birthday, I want to celebrate it dancing. So I posted it online and it was amazing. And then the pandemic happened. So everything was brought online. Yeah.
Wow, which was a good time for what you were doing. So you were pushed in the right direction. Mm-hmm. So you actually have a physical practice that you do go to every day.
Yes.
And see clients. Now, do you see mostly women clients or a variety of clients? It doesn't.
In my chiropractic practice, I see a variety of like families.
Yeah. Okay.
From babies to elderly. Mm-hmm.
So, but your passion is it just women or all people?
I mean, I love people. Mm-hmm. But my passion, the people I connect with the most, the people I believe I was called to serve, is women.
Excellent. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. I mean, you know, everybody has different areas, and, you know, for a while I was thinking it was women, but then God gave me children, and I was like, kids. I love kids, and you know, but it's like you're pushed in those directions. My apologies. Okay. You're pushed in those directions to where that's where your gifting is and where you're calling. So
yeah. I thought at first I wanted to work with kids, and I do love kids, like teenagers. That's definitely something I want to focus on moving forward. Being like mentorship for young girls, but I don't know about toddlers and
little ones. It's like, oh, that's just work. That's work.
Patience.
So you actually started Dance for Mental Health.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that program entail? What does that look like?
So for Dance for Mental Health, it started as just classes and workshops, working on your intention. Like I said earlier, you're being mindful, self-awareness, you're paying attention to your thoughts. And then I decided to turn it into a program, because sometimes people do come to the class just to dance, which is amazing, but then there's still work to be done. So I created the program for us to go a little bit deeper. We have group coaching calls to talk about things that relates to like self-awareness, self-love, relationships, money, because those are the main things, right, that causes mental health issues, right? So so do that, and still do the weekly dancing classes, and that includes also tutorials, like self-study lessons. Like I get on camera and I teach them certain things, give homework and assignments. So it's basically the program itself is to go deeper, but I still want to continue doing the individual classes and the workshops.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Yeah. So for someone to reach out to you, and we'll post everything in the chat and everything, they can reach out to you and get all the information about that. And so how do you know when someone is ready to do the work and when they're not ready to do the work? Do you see that sometimes?
When they're open to learning, right? You open, like, listen, I'm ready, I'm willing and ready to do everything, anything to feel better. But then there's some people, their reservations, like, oh, I don't know about this. Oh, it doesn't work for me. It's not for me. You have to be open. Once someone is open to experiencing something different, trying something different, then that's when you know that they're ready to do the work. And it's never easy. Even if you say, hey, I want to do it, there's still going to be some resistance in the beginning. But healing is a journey, and it's not easy, and it's not pretty at all.
It's not, you know, and discovering definitely through the pandemic and, you know, quarantine and things like that. Have you seen an increase in people who actually need this more?
Of course. I feel like right now, I know the numbers is saying that mental health crisis is going up, because for the first time, the world literally stopped and everybody had to take a look at, okay, what am I feeling? And a lot of people don't know how to feel. The problem is we don't know how to feel. We avoid, for all this time, we've been avoiding feelings, ignoring it, right? Because you could just go to work or you could go out with your friends. There's a lot of distractions, but during the pandemic, a lot of distractions were gone. And
we're busy. We we suppress it. And you know, honestly, I found myself doing that, you know, just being transparent. I found myself doing that in the regular world. And then when all of these things hit, I learned how to, I thought it was emotional maturity, but it was actually a little bit of suppression as well.
Yeah, there's a level to this.
Yeah, like I'm feeling this and I don't like it.
Listen, I'm teaching this stuff and it's still tough for me. I'm still going through my journey. It's like, oh, I thought I dealt with this 3 years ago. Like I thought I had this under control, but no, it's a journey. Sometimes it might be a never-ending journey, you know? So yeah.
Yeah, like you said, it's layers to it. So how long is the program, or is it as long as someone needs it or wants to do it?
Well, it's for 12 weeks. So the idea is that I teach you the tools so that you could actually coach yourself throughout life. Like just like a doctor, I don't want you to need me all the time. Yes, I love you to come to me, right? But it's deeper than the money. I want you to learn how to take care of yourself, take responsibility for your health, your physical and your emotional health. So yeah, so it's for 12 weeks.
Okay, excellent. And through the program, does it incorporate maybe a meal plan or things to, you know, help with your psyche to make you feel better on the inside as well, so that you can be more productive with your thought process?
Oh, I don't do meal plans.
But do you touch on that? Because sometimes I know when a lot is going on, and even when you're emotionally distressed, sometimes it comes from our eating habits as well.
Yes. So what I do teach, for example, if you find yourself overeating or eating the wrong foods, why? What are you avoiding? Pay attention to the thoughts you're having. Pay attention to your emotions every time you reach and, you know, drink that soda, or it could be alcohol, whatever it is, or eat that ice cream. So I'm teaching you how to pay attention to your thoughts and your emotions. If you need a meal plan, I am resourceful. I will find someone to help you. But I personally, I stay in my lane.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. So is it okay for someone to say, hey, I really need some help, or I don't know how or what direction?
Yes. Especially for us Black women, right? We have that title that we're supposed to be strong. And we carry that as a badge of honor. Like, yeah, I'm strong, but deep down, we're not. We're fearful of asking for help. We're fearful of saying, you know, I need help. But we are not meant to do life alone. God did not place us on this earth to do life alone. That's why we got people around us. So yeah, you have to, in order for other people to help you, you have to acknowledge that you have a problem, and you gotta want it, right? Because other people can see that something is wrong, but unless you say I want it, you're not going to get it. You're not going to receive it, I should say.
Definitely. So for the unsuspecting person, what have you observed that depression or anxiety looks like?
Well, anxiety and depression does not look like any particular way. It does not discriminate race, age, rich, poor. There's no way to know, right? We have the misconception that people who are depressed, for example, they're just walking around sad all day, or they're laying in bed all day. I was depressed for years. I had a roommate. We lived together, went to school together. We watched our Ratchet TV together. We did a lot of stuff. We went out together. And guess what? She had no idea, right? So like the saying go, you never know what someone is dealing with right? You could put a smile on your face, which I did for many years. I had a smile on my face, but I was suffering in silence. So just be mindful. There's other ways that you could tell if someone that you're close to is suffering from anxiety and depression. That doesn't always look like sadness. For example, they could be irritable or get angry quickly. They're negative self-talk. Not only about they talk negatively about themselves, but if they're always negative about everything around them, or talking bad about other people, or if they're always gossiping. I'm not saying everybody who's gossiping is but I see that as a mirror. The way you see other people, basically. So, but yeah, there's no one way to to know if someone has anxiety or depression. And also, please do not self-diagnose. You need to go to a professional and have them diagnose you. Please, please, please do not self-diagnose or diagnose somebody else.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Sometimes we can be assuming and it could be, something else.
Yeah.
So for someone to cope with this through dancing, what have you observed after your program, after, someone's come through, and what have you observed from your people?
So this is my first time running the program this month. This next 3 months. But however, during my one-on-one class, like everybody has so much energy and they're excited. Actually, I had a doctor who was working through during the pandemic, because I live here in New York, and every Sunday she would come to my class. She's like, oh my gosh, like it was very, very tough for healthcare workers. So there were times where I would cancel class and she's like, no, what am I going to do? So dancing has it's not specific just to dancing, but let's be serious. Dancing is my exercise of choice.
That's how my sister is.
I did not like to go to the gym. Even though I can work out, I'm fit, but it's not the same as dancing, right? So when you move your body, you're actually like releasing like a feel-good hormones, right? And it also decreases your stress producing hormones. So that's why dancing and movement, because if you like music and you feel the music, it helps your confidence, and then it decreases anxiety and depression. And that's the idea of the program, to go a little bit deeper, because I don't want the work to stop like, oh, I come to dance class, I feel good, and then I'm back to, my normal state. So I'm hoping to incorporate more of teaching and educating within the dance classes, so the people who just want to come in for one class, they have something to use in going forward.
Excellent. So I saw one video that you did, and it was They Won't Know. Won't know. And so what was the inspiration behind that particular video?
Myself. Most of my videos is something that I have experienced personally or I'm going through at the time. So if you want to have fun, you have to make fun of yourself sometimes, but it's real. That's stuff I have been through. So it's kind of therapeutic for me. It's like I put it out there and have so many people, so many feedback. I was like, oh my God, me too. I was just like, okay. So I gotta keep going. I gotta keep talking about myself.
Yes, you have to keep going, because the one that caught my full attention was, I woke up one day and I did my little routine, and then I hopped on Instagram, and you were on there, and I think it was like you were stretching, and it was like, and I said, she nailed it. I had to send it to everybody. It was just like, this is it. She's on to something, because, after you turn 30, you like, this is how I feel. And I don't know why I feel like this,
Even after my dance class, because I have a lot. You have to come to one of my classes, by the way. I have
Okay.
so much energy. It's so funny. After I'm done, I'm just like, oh, I can't move.
You stiff.
I'm
I love it.
I'm honest. I had like most people agreed. Then there's some people like, oh, that's not right. What's wrong with y'all? Y'all 30 and act. Listen, it's just being honest, right? When I was in my 20s, I could go out and have a great time and run and do all those things, and I get up at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I feel great. Now, not so much. So.
Just wait till you hit the 40, girl. Wait till you hit the 40. But keep dancing. That's what'll keep you going.
Yes, absolutely.
I absolutely love the concept and everything that you're doing. I like how you're pointing it out, but not making it's just real. It's real, and it makes you really look at yourself and evaluate yourself. So every video, every time I see one, I'm like, this is so real. Even though I'm laughing, I almost want to cry because it's just bringing it to life. So I absolutely love the videos.
Thank you.
So let me ask you this. What are some of your deepest values?
I would definitely say honesty. I'm going to tell you why. Because for so many years, I was dishonest, not to other people and lying to other people, but to myself, right? Mm-hmm. That's the idea of people pleasing. It's not just saying, oh, yeah, yes to everybody else, but lying to yourself about who you are, what you want. I spend way too much time doing that. So my deepest value right now is being honest with myself.
That's good.
And also love. I've been obsessed with the word love since forever. So I always try to practice to respond in love, being understanding of other people. But those are my two deepest values. But the honesty part it was a hard journey to get to the point to where I am being completely honest with myself. And again, it's not, it doesn't feel good all the time. It's very uncomfortable, but this is how I grow.
Yes. Yeah. I love that because, sometimes we do lie to ourselves. The biggest thing I hear from a lot of people most of the time, I'm a good person. And it's something that we sometimes tell ourselves to make ourselves more comfortable or accepted. But when you look at yourself like in that mirror, you said earlier, and in those videos, that's, like I said, that's something that brings it to life. What is happening in me? What's going on in me? How can I pretty much cut this stuff away so that I can get to my best self, my healthy self? Yes. Absolutely. And that's exactly what you're doing for us. I mean, bringing it to life and pointing it out, but not, you don't feel bad about it. You just owning it.
Yes. And that's the thing. There's once you tell your truth, what's going to happen? No one can hold it over your head. Your truth is your truth. So, once I started doing it, it just started feeling good. It kind of sets you free, basically. Yes, I'm making fun of myself, but telling my story in that way sets me free in so many ways. So, yeah.
Excellent. I absolutely love that. So, what is something you've accomplished in the past that you're most proud of?
Honestly, just being here talking to you. Having interviews like last year, yes, it has been a tough, 2020 has been a tough year, and we're still in the middle of all the craziness, but I've grown so much. I've always been fearful of public speaking, and yeah, so just having this conversation with you now live, it's just like, man, girl, you came a long way. So that's definitely something I've been proud of. But it's so funny because I told you when I was younger, I used to be in pageants. I used to be doing all those things, but somewhere I lost that. I lost myself. So getting back, me just being out there, outspoken with my videos, I feel like I found myself again. So I guess, yeah, that's what I'm most
I
proud of.
think, and I can identify with that because, it sounds to me doing it the right way, not doing it the way everybody else is doing it, or having a touch of class with it or some kind of elegance with it versus just throwing something out there for the world to see. That's the scary part. How am I going to be perceived and received? So, and I think when you are giving the best of yourself and doing it in a healthy way, it's easier to do it and breaking those barriers.
Yeah. Like I said, it just set me free. It's like, oh, that's, and the people laughing at me, people understand what I'm trying to, the message. Oh, I gotta keep sharing.
And you can dance for the record, honey. You can move. Like, I'm like, she moving. I can't move like that.
So I'm learning to like kind of tone it down, especially for the classes, because I feel like that kind of scares people away from taking my class. Like, listen, the steps is just an added bonus. I want you to just move your body, and that's it.
Enjoy it. Yes.
And doing it. Yep.
So what do you want more of in your life?
What I want more of, girl, that's easy. Money. So I throw this out there because a lot of people think that that's so negative. Like, why do you want more money? Because I want to do good in the world. And the only way we could do it is having money, period.
Having money.
Yeah. I haven't had the healthiest relationship with money. And as I'm growing, I was like, why is it so bad to want money? You want to do all those things. You want to give back. And I'm a giver. I'm a natural giver. I give. So the more I have, the more I'll be able to give. So that's it. That's what I want more of. And love.
And love. Definitely. Well, wanting money, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think you can, I learned from this pastor a couple of years ago. He said, you speak to the money and send the money to do what you commanded to do. And that's actually, it's actually scripture. And it says, speak to it. And you send it out to do what it's supposed to do. It has to come back to you because you're commanding it, and you're not allowing it to rule you or overtake
you. Yes.
And that's
actually a good book. Well, I started last year. I haven't finished yet. It's called God and Money. And it's really good. Like, it's talk about, like, I don't want to get deep into this, but how the church like teaches us how to sow and not how to rip. And it's a different perspective, but I just know the more that I have, the more I'm able to do in the world. And that's that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it's okay, because even if we secretly say we want money, God hears us anyhow. We know, he knows. He like, oh, you want some money. I love it. So how long have you been married?
Oh, it's been a whole 4 months.
4 months.
I was a quarantine bride, yes.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, the newlyweds. Enjoy.
Yes.
I saw your honey dancing with you in one of your videos.
Oh yeah, I kind of like hold him hostage. He's a good sport, though. He's a good sport.
Oh, that's good. It was cute. I was like, this is so cute. I love it.
It's all my idea.
Good stuff. So what do you secretly love about yourself now?
What I secretly love about myself, I would say this. You talk about the video with the, thank you, Amia. Thank you.
Amy. That's actually my mom. That's Amy Thomas.
And read. Okay, Amy. Hi, Amy. Hi, Mom. But I love that I'm still athletic, thank God, because I could not work out for however months, a year, and get on the track and do it. It might hurt afterwards, but I love my physical body because it's still able to do what I want it to do. So I'm thankful.
Nice. Yeah. Hey, we can't complain, especially this day and age.
Yeah. Health is wealth.
Yes, it is. And what are some of the things that you love to learn about? I hear you definitely say grow, growth, growth, growth. What do you love to learn about?
So right now, since I'm in this mental health space and learning about, in school, because I'm a chiropractor, we focus on the nervous system. So I have a really good foundation, but I really want to get a little bit deeper into the neuroscience of the brain and how the brain works when, we go through different mental health stuff and try to incorporate it in what I'm doing right now. Like any other resources that I could get to help people anywhere. That's what I want to do. So yeah, neuroscience. It's not like something super excited for some people, but
actually, it's exciting for me. That sounds because I was looking up some natural chemicals that kind of stimulate brain function and learning and joy. And those are some of the chemicals that I researched, and I was like, oh, well, let me see if I can actually boost it and take a supplement that'll help with that. So I think that's where we're heading as a people, and more people are interested in that arena.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm looking into like natural healing stuff, other like Reiki, like breathing techniques. Like I said, I'm gonna incorporate everything into dancing. So that's why I'm doing little by little, but that's why I'm like really interested in learning right now.
I love it. I love it. So what do most people compliment you on?
Oh boy. My energy. I like to laugh. My energy. Nice person. I'm easygoing. Those are definitely some things I would say people compliment. I didn't think about. Yeah. My energy.
Your energy. Yeah, you have good energy, really good energy, good, healthy energy.
Yeah.
It's nice to be in a space with a person who has that light. That
Yeah.
light. Yeah.
Right. That's my saying. My saying is that if I had to teach my younger self something, is that do not rob the world of your light. Like we all have a light, and then when you don't share that, we're leaving darkness in people's lives. So it's so funny you said the light. That's what I truly believe, and that's why 2020 brought that light out of me in an authentic way. So yeah,
I absolutely love that. I love that. So when someone comes to you and they say, I want to be fit, I want to be healthy, mind, body, and soul, where can I start? How do we start this process? Or they're fearful of it. How do you get them to walk in that?
First of all, what is your intention? What is your why? Right? Why you want to go on this journey? Because it's not going to be easy. There's going to be roadblocks, but your desire to change, your why has to be stronger than your excuses, because they're going to come.
Yeah.
Oh, I ran out of time. I don't have time anymore. And I have this and that. If it's that important to you, you're going to make it work. So for example, for your physical body, a lot of people are like, oh, for the New Year resolution, I am going to lose weight. I want to lose weight. So what? Lose weight? Oh, well. Why do you want to lose weight? There has to be some type of emotional attachment to your why. So it pushes you, right? when days that you don't want to. Like, I want to lose weight so I could be healthy, so I could stop taking all these medications. I hate taking medication. This is what I want to get healthy for. Or it bothers me that I can't spend time with my children because I'm out of breath all the time. I can't bend to lift them up, for example. So this is why I want a better health. See how that is emotional attachment to that versus just like, oh, I just want to lose weight.
Yes.
It's like anybody would say that.
Yeah, and that was the key that you touched it. What's your intention behind what you're doing? Why do you want to do it? And that makes all the sense in the world. You know, why do you want to change something you've been doing so long now? That's powerful. And I think that's the key for success in this arena.
Yes. So I teach this tool. I mean, it's not mine. I learned it from another life coach, that if you want whatever results you want in your life, you have to start with your thought. What is the thought you're having about it? Are you saying, well, I don't know about, I mean, I need to lose weight so I can love myself? Or like, what is your thought about losing weight? Do you think like, oh, it's so hard, I'll never, because some people might say I want to do something, but their thoughts is that I don't think it's going to happen because it's too hard. It's never going to happen. So if you tell yourself it's too hard, it's not going to happen, the feeling is going to create like a discouragement. Right? When you're discouraged, your actions is that you're not going to work out. Like when it gets hard, you know, one morning it's cold. I live in New York. A lot of mornings I didn't want to go to the gym because it's too cold. So you're not going to do anything because you're already discouraged because of your thought. So always see what is your thought process, right? Then see what feelings it create. Then your feelings will drive the actions that you take. And then your actions will always give you a result. So thoughts, feelings, actions, results.
Wow, excellent. So why do you believe the world needs the gifts that you bring?
Because why they need it? Because God gave it to me. God gave all of us a gift, and it's our duty to share it. It's from God. If you don't get anything from this interview tonight, I'm telling you, you have a gift, right? If you was right in front of me, I'll shake you like, you have a gift. You might think it doesn't look like anybody else's gift. Why should it? Because they're not you. God gave it to you, and that's everybody else. What is it? It could be anything simple. It could be sewing. It could be doing somebody's hair. It could be taking care of children. Like whatever it is, we all have a gift, and we're supposed to share it. And that's also a way that we worship God, and we show gratitude to God. But like, thank you for what you've given me. So now I'm sharing it. So, and yeah. God gave me the gift. God gave me the idea. God gave me the vision. So that's why the world needs it. And I didn't even know when I started doing it, I didn't even know the pandemic was going to happen. So the fact that this vision started years before the pandemic, it could only be God.
Only. That's it. I agree wholeheartedly because I mean, and then you implemented it right on time. Right on.
I was a little bit resistant at first because the first one was live. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And luckily I was part of a community, and one of my coaches was like, think about taking it online. I was like, it's not the same, but let me tell you, it is the same. My energy is, if not higher than when we were in person. So yeah.
Wow. I mean, they're definitely motivational videos. And it doesn't, the thing I've noticed about the generation now is that they need to look at something in 30 seconds and be done. That's all. Like, I can't watch this longer than that. So,
yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
And they're quick, but they get straight to the point. They're powerful. And I'm like, I've never seen anything like this in my life. I'm seeing other videos.
It wasn't fully planned to be 30 seconds, but the way Instagram Reels only have 30 seconds. So I kind of like had to condense. Like, I'm just being honest. It wasn't, I didn't like, oh, I'm just going to be 1 minute or 30-second video. But because the way it's set up right now, TikTok is only 1 minute, Instagram Reel is 30 seconds.
Yes.
So I had to get creative. Hello, Renita.
Hey, Renita.
I said her name in Spanish, Renita.
Yes, Renita is boss, honey. So for you in this venture, what does the complete package of success look like?
What the complete package of success? Ooh, just continue to be myself, right? Make sure I do not, stay in my lane and not look at everybody else. And success would look like just continue reaching women and continue changing lives. As long as I'm doing that, it could be one person, right? My coach has always taught us an audience of one is still an audience. If you reach one person, you've done your job. So as long as I could continue reaching at least one person,
Definitely.
to me, that is success. Everything else is extra. On my journey, there's so many people who have helped me along my journey, and my goal is to continue doing that for others.
Excellent. I love that. So Mr. Nelson Roy says, we look like Blossom and Six.
Hey.
I guess we're the improved version. Hey.
Right? Thank you, Mr. Nelson.
Oh, thanks. So what do you want more of in your life?
Oh, I already answered. What I want more of?
Well, more money. You said more money. So writing a book. If we're moving toward the book, what are you going to write about?
I would write a book about my life. I was born in the Caribbean. I came into America when I was 13. And that transition, like I said, as a little girl who did all those things. And somewhere along the line, I lost myself trying to fit in this, narrative of, what a woman should be, what a woman should do, what a Christian woman should do. And I lost myself along the way. So I would love to bring people along the journey to where I went on my self-discovery journey. And here I am today. I'm still have a lot of work to do. So the book might not come for a couple years, but it's already amazing. I can see it.
I mean, from 13 to now, you've done a lot. You have done a lot. I think it could be, this doesn't have to be one book. It could be a series. I mean, I'm just saying,
No, that's good. No, that's good. No, that's really good. You're absolutely right. Because we go through stages in life, right? Just from being who grew up in the island, that alone is one book.
Yes, it is. Exactly.
And then coming here as a 13-year-old until college is another book. And you're right, girl.
So how was that transition from the island to the States? What was that like for you?
I mean, in the beginning, it was great because, growing up, like my village I grew up in had no more than 200 people. So everybody, like, America was the dream. Like, everybody talk about America like this, fantasy world. And the idea of us coming over, it was my siblings and I, we were excited. And then we got here and it's like, but and that's part of, I won't call it trauma, but really a little bit of trauma growing up as children doing that transition. Your parents don't sit down with you and say, this is what you should expect. This is what's going to happen. Like, how do you feel during the transition? Like, we don't have those conversations. So in the beginning, it was tough. We just learned how to survive from a young age, and you just feel like, oh, I'm doing it. I'm surviving. Everything is good. But like I said, I was losing myself along the way, just trying to cope with things, not
Mhm.
having a blueprint, not having someone to guide me or
Mhm.
help me through certain things. So it was, at the time, I thought it was a great transition, but because I was used to,
Mhm.
hey, I'm
Yeah.
fine. Everything is good. I had the I'm fine syndrome. I
Mhm.
was doing good in school. I was in athletics. So everybody's just like, okay, she's doing good. But deep down inside, I wasn't. But grand scheme of things, it could have been worse. I still stayed on the, straight and
The right choice.
narrow. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah.
Well, kudos to you, because that couldn't have been easy, especially at 13. That's a pivotal age for a young woman.
And my
Um,
mom stayed behind on top of that. So that's a whole separate conversation. Yeah.
yeah.
So
So what was the biggest culture shock you experienced? You know what I mean? Like, what was the thing that got you like, oh wow?
so I moved to Miami. So that's where I lived first. I
Okay.
thought the kids there was in middle school. So my brother and I have a brother who's 1 year older. We got into middle school. So we got to America in April. It's like, oh, we're not gonna go to school until August, September. Like, nope. We were the following week, my father put us in school, and it was a shock. I thought people were so rude. Kids to me at the time, because like nobody said I'm sorry. Everybody was like, my bad. And nobody said excuse me. Everything was like my bad. I was like, what's wrong with you? So getting into middle school at the end of the school year, at the end of the school, because that was eighth grade.
Mhm.
Everyone had their clique. So we was just trying to
So
fit in.
yeah, trying to find
Yeah,
your that
my
is
place. Yeah. Yeah.
well, you definitely have space now, girl. You have opened it up.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
I
So
receive
what
that.
would your theme song be?
Oh man.
Or you got a few of them?
I like everything. Okay. Anything you play, I like it. Like right now, like
Mhm.
my theme song. Oh man. I always go back to gospel music because
Okay.
there's
I
no
love it. I love it.
the Waymaker song, that's my jam. That is my jam because God always make a way.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
a theme song, I don't know. I like so many songs. It's hard to pick one, but yeah, it's hard. That's a good question though. I'll think about it.
Okay, good. I love it. So right there, when did you develop a relationship with God, and when did you know, like, oh, he's everything?
So, interesting it, I grew up around the church in Dominica, this island I'm from. My family are Catholic, so I was super involved in church, everything, helping the priest. I was there, like I was doing the readings in church. So when we moved to the US, my dad, not so much. So there was a gap where I didn't go to church at all. I
Mhm.
always knew God was there, but it wasn't until I would say in my late 20s, I
Okay.
started going to non-denomination church and understanding of having a relationship. There's one thing to know that he's there, but having a real, because for years, everybody, you'll hear people's story like, oh, God spoke to me and this. And I was like, God talking to me? Because you expect to hear this voice,
Yeah.
right? I mean, some people hear voices, but
Mhm.
to actually have a relationship and you could actually talk to him and be yourself.
Yes.
Um, that was, but then I got to that point after I got to a very, very low point in my life. I
Mhm.
think my relationship with God grew over the years, especially when I went to Peru because most of my distractions were gone and it was me and God. And yeah, that's when it's still obviously a relationship with God is no end and it's still growing. It's
Yes.
always levels to everything. But it was not until I was in my late 20s that I learned what it meant to have like a relationship and talking to God. Like that was foreign to me before that.
Yes. I think you come to a point of, I always tell people or try to encourage people, go to God before you get desperate. Go before you get desperate. Because when you get desperate, it could go either way, you know? So
I wait till you're in crisis. You got to prepare beforehand because the crisis is going to come either way. Then we're going to go through some things. You got to be prepared ahead of time, or try to swim out of it.
I had to swim out of it. That's what happened. I had to. So I totally understand. You know, it was the late 20s, and whew, it's like when you realize, like, he is, you know, he is everything. He's the source. He's the life giver. He's the lover. You know, the friend, the father. He is.
It was hard. Even when I thought I had a relationship with God, I didn't understand, like, I'm a daughter of a king and I could actually ask him for anything I want. Not necessarily mean he's going to give it to me, but he's not going to, you know, hold that against me or asking for something I'm not supposed to have, you know. But it was so hard for me to ask because, you know what, I felt like I did not deserve it. So when you're a daughter, because we're daughters of a king, we are deserving. I didn't believe I was. So,
well, I think that's the humility.
Yeah,
that's the reverence. The God, I'm not worthy because you are so great. But it's like, man, the great I am loves me.
Yeah,
little old me. You know. Yeah. So I still find that amazing every time I think about it.
Absolutely.
Yes. So why do you believe God has you here in this moment?
Why he has me here? Because I listened.
Amen.
I listened. I finally, like a lot of people talk about, you know, the pandemic and having to pause, but this is not my first pause. My first pause I had is when I went to Peru and I was able to just be alone, be with him. And I'm not going to lie, when I came back to the US 2017, you know, the distraction started and, you know, the confusion started. And so this pause of last year was really, I was able to listen to him more. And he has me here because I've been listening. And I've said yes. I have said yes to a lot of things I didn't want to say yes to, girl.
I love it.
Yeah.
Wow. So tell us, and we're coming to a close because we've been here for an hour. Isn't that something?
It's been good, though. It's been good.
It's been good. So tell us a few fun facts about you.
Oh, okay. I speak Spanish.
Oh,
fluently. Because I learned when I took the position, I had to learn. I love to travel. So I've been to about 23 countries so far.
Oh, wow. Tell us some of the places you've been, a few of the places.
So I've been to Dubai, Abu Dhabi, that's where I spend most of the time. Greece, Spain, France, Belgium. So around Europe, Caribbean, because you know I'm a Caribbean girl. I was supposed to go to Thailand and Bali last year for my my honeymoon, but you know that was canceled. But that's definitely my next goal is to go to Asia. I've been to Ghana, which is probably my favorite, and I can't wait to go back to Africa.
I absolutely love it.
Yeah. What else? Oh, you said 5. Wait, hold on. What else? 5 fun facts about me. So, you know, I got married last year during the quarantine, a quarantine bride. Oh, what's the fun facts? Things about me.
Do you swim? You love dancing. We know
Oh, I
that.
can swim. I can swim to save my life. Save myself from drowning. I could do that. I've been scuba diving before, which was a very interesting experience.
Nice. Well, I observed my mom and my sister scuba diving.
So I was with a friend and she freaked out. I almost didn't get the experience because she freaked out and we had to like take her back. Yeah. We didn't do a good enough training.
Oh, okay.
We were laughing and having a good time. So yeah, I think I said 5, did I?
Oh, wow. Well, you said 4.
4. Okay, one more fun fact about me. I played basketball in high school, you know.
Oh, nice.
I know how to shoot the ball.
Okay, we're gonna have to play one day.
Play basketball too?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was an athlete, believe it or not.
Girl.
Yeah. And then we gonna make it squeaking. Look.
We gonna play like 5 minutes or play
5
hard.
minutes.
Yeah, let's just do hard. Yeah, let's just do that.
Wow. I so appreciate your time. So please leave the people with something. What do you want to leave them with? Any advice, encouragement?
Just be you, right? Just walk in your power, walk in your truth. Having your being powerful is just knowing who you are and whose you are, and don't let anybody tell you what you can or cannot have. If you're anybody, if you're suffering from any type of mental health issues, and it doesn't have to be diagnosed. If you feel that something is wrong, you don't have to wait to get a diagnosis to seek help. There are resources out there. Just ask someone, just reach out for help, acknowledge that something does not feel right. You do not have to be ashamed, right? You do not have to be ashamed because so many people are suffering in silence, and you don't have to. You don't have to. We have people like myself. You know, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a counselor, but I'm always there to, just be that support. You could slide in my DM like, hey, like I have people just from my videos, right? I have just people coming to me and I give them the support that they need. And if I can't do it, I always try to encourage them to seek professional help. But just be true to yourself, listen to your body. And yeah, that's it. I don't want to keep going.
Thank you so much. This has been a true blessing. Yes. Thank you guys for joining us on Open Vibes tonight. And we pray that something has been said or done to inspire you, encourage you, and just to love on you. You guys be blessed.
Thank you. Don't forget to come.